Right, so I think I got it right here. No, hold. Is it?
Durtle, that's in your
Hold on,
mouth.
hold on.
He's eating it!
Oh
Get it out of his throat!
my goodness. Okay, so that's fixed. Oh, wait. Okay, that's okay, and I think
It's
found-
angry. I see a red dot.
I see a light too. Oh crap!
It's mad. What did
We're
you
recording. It's time for the show.
do?
Doodle,
Dirt, dirt,
doodle,
dirt.
doodle podcast.
Yeah.
Alright, welcome to the brand new Dirk and Durtle podcast. My name is Dirk, and this is my brother.
I am Dirk. That is Durtle.
And we are here to give you the inside scoop of Lost in the Beastlands. Yes, that's right. We are real life human beings just like you. But before we continue in our show,
What's a
just
human
a
being?
word from our sponsors. Take it away, Joe. The following program is based off of fictional characters. That means they are not real. So everything you're about to hear, including the jokes, means no harm to anyone with the last name Castle, first name Josh, or anybody affiliated with the Dungeons and Dragons series. Back to you, Durtle. All right, thank you so
Who
much.
the crap is that?
That was Joe. He's the slug under the next rock. So today on the Dirk and Durtle podcast, today we are going to discuss a couple of things. First, we're going to talk about our top play from our last session. We're in episode 4 of Lost in the Beastlands. In reality, there are 2 mystical episodes that never really appeared. Dirk, I'm excited to talk about those later on.
Oh, yes. We have plenty in store to tell you. I don't actually remember those.
I wrote it all down on my tail. We've got extras to talk about Lost in the Beastlands, what we think about these brand new -1 arrows that we've inherited, and how you too can avoid the pitfalls and the traps of asking little rabbits to fix your weapons.
They literally attack everything but where my target needs to go.
It's the worst. Even when you roll a 1, they're
It's like
so
a
bad they
boomerang.
give you a 0.
It always comes back to you.
So, on our first item of today's list, what's that DM? You know what? I can't stand the DM who is running this campaign. It just seems like he's trying to run everything, telling us what to roll, what to look for, what happens to us, what doesn't happen to us. He thinks he's like the master of everything.
I mean, to be honest, I don't really see anything that goes on. He keeps saying perceptions, and I'm like, what?
And everything that he says, I just don't get it. It's like he thinks we see things.
I truly don't see things.
And I think he's also said that we're on drugs. I think he's the one on drugs.
He has no proof!
Well, you got some here?
Shut up!
Okay, next topic. So, speaking of that, what the arrow? Today we want to give you the top 5 tips of what we have found from our expertise of rangers. In case you are unawares of our character profiles, we are both skilled rangers from the Goblin School of Gigglefurt, and we are top-notch students. I am a master in the beastery field, and Dirk, aren't you some kind of insect master?
Well, no. I know a lot about insects. Like, they crawl around, and they go...
Oh, I eat those.
But yes. But, no. I know a lot about the Underdark. You know, like mind flayers.
I don't know what that is.
They eat your brains.
The Underdark is under my tail. Regardless of that, here's our top 5 tips for how to avoid... top 5 tips of how to get the most out of your arrows. Tip number 1. Don't buy bad arrows. Man, bad arrows can be a drag, can't they?
I can't hit anything!
Nothing at all?
No, just myself.
Okay, well, something interesting about arrows. When you buy bad arrows, they do bad things. And really, when you think about bad arrows, I mean, they're bad for a reason. I mean, they don't fly well. The trajectory is off. You roll a critical and you hit the guy next to you and kill him for triple damage. They're just really bad.
You roll a 1, that's an automatic 0.
I know. It's
You
like
get no damage.
it's like you get an opposite crit. Do oppa crits exist?
Yeah, they're called 0.
Oh. Well, that makes sense. So don't buy bad arrows. Just like in our last campaign, we received -1 arrows from bunny rabbits, and I'll have to tell you, these goose feather arrows made of rock heads and not iron heads, they're just a hair off. I don't even like to, I want to break these things.
I've already broken 2. I sat on them.
The best way to avoid having rabbits make your arrows is turn the arrow on the rabbits and shoot them. They can't mess it up after that.
Jimmy, if you're hearing this, I'm sorry.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Friend of mine.
Okay. So, don't buy bad arrows. Don't have your arrows made by hairs. Tip number 3 for how to get the most out of your arrows. Don't shoot them.
Wait, what?
The less you quip, the more you'll keep. That's my motto.
You just literally made that up.
I did not.
Like 4 seconds ago.
I've been raised with that mantra my entire life.
I've been raised with
Well, it's a wise folk saying of the goblins.
No, that just means run.
Well, here's the secret. You'll never run out of arrows if you never use them.
That's deep.
Let that
deep.
simmer.
That's like Underdark deep.
So if anybody ever asks you, why do you never run out of arrows? Don't tell them the number 1 secret. Tell them number 2.
Rocks!
Because rabbits don't make my arrows. How to get the most out of your arrows, number 4. Don't use swords. Swords can be a problem, especially when you're shooting your bow and arrow. They get in the way, and you go to draw your string, your thumb gets stuck on the hilt of your sword, you end up shooting your foot because you flipped it a little too hard the wrong way. You just don't use swords. That's common sense. That's how you get a good arrow.
Also, there was one time I panicked. I picked up a sword, thought it was an arrow, tried to shoot it. It didn't end well. It killed the person next to me. I didn't know them, but yeah.
Oh, I think I was there. Well, wasn't that my ex-girlfriend?
No.
Are you sure? What was it? Not Misty?
No. How about we go to tip number 5?
Okay, the last and final tip. Don't use your arrows, don't buy bad arrows, don't have rabbits make your arrows, don't have a sword if you're going to use your arrow, and tip number 5, which is coming from the vault of the Rangers Master Guild. Tip number 5 for how to get the most out of your arrows, use your arrows. Yes, that is a masterful tip. If you want to get the most out of something, use it. That's how you get the most out of it, because you're using it. Just makes sense. Like the wise old goblin proverb. If you use it, you used it. It's deep.
It's like Cthulhu deep.
That's really deep. That's monstrous deep. Which, speaking of which, I think we actually have another sponsor that is sponsoring us today. Our quiver provider. Dirk, why don't you give that announcement so we can get money for this podcast?
What quiver? I didn't sign up for any quiver. You didn't tell me.
It's this one. That one right there.
This is a bag of poop. Why did you give me a bag of poop?
Well, today's quiver brand comes from Shiver. Time to get that shiver in your timbers and use these quivers.
This person already shivered all in their timbers.
The Shiver quiver gives a shocking shrill chill to your next enemy. So next time when you want meat on the table, freeze your meat before you take 50 days to get home.
This is gonna just put the enemy in a stupor. They're not gonna be like, who put crap in all this?
That's why you need to buy yours today. Okay, so I think we're on our last topic here. We trashed the DM. We've talked about how to get the most out of your arrows. And I think it's time for us to talk about the play of the day, at least in our eyes. So in our last adventure of Lost in the Beastlands, which we'll talk about a little bit more as we explore this podcast. Dirk, why don't you tell? Are we getting a phone call? Dirk?
What? No.
I didn't know we were televised. What?
Hold on. Yeah.
Okay, so while he's taking that
Yeah.
call, we're going to examine
Yeah.
the top play of the
Yeah.
last adventure
Yeah.
of Lost in the Beastlands.
Yeah.
So in our last adventure, it was very interesting as our
Hello?
friends were trying to figure out what to
Hold on. Let me
do
get a signal.
after fighting off a giant spider. In
Can you hear me
fact,
now?
the play of episode number 3 has to be hands down. Dirtle
Hello?
didn't die. Dirtle ran away from a spider. Definitely outrolled the save roll there for the spider, and he lived to do another
you hear me now?
podcast. But episode 4.
Uh-huh.
Episode 4, our top play of the day was the 3 bodies going in the river and
Yeah.
finding leeches all over themselves. I
Yeah.
can't believe it. A play that sucks so much the leeches loved it. Dirk, what do you have to say about the leech sucking?
Well, I'll be there next Tuesday. Okay.
All right, we do play on Tuesday nights. So I think that's Dirk's way
Yeah.
of saying I'll see you as
Okay,
we play
I'll see you
the
tomorrow.
next Lost in
Cool.
the Beastlands. Now, for all of our listeners out there, because we know there are hundreds of thousands of you who are listening to this
All
right
right, I'm
now.
back. What topic are we on?
We are on 5 ways to tie your hair in a bow.
What? How did we get on that? That's not on the menu.
Don't you know we have a contract with a beauty salon?
When did we get that?
Yeah, we got it a long time ago. I'm on Possum Monthly.
Easy breezy, beautiful goblin girl.
So, with that in mind, we will probably see you on the next episode of Lost in the Beastlands. And we hope that if you have listened to all of this, that maybe there's still time in the day to not
There's
waste
still hope for you
away
to live.
this, not waste away and get back to the role. So next time you find yourself in a dungeon or in a troll, just give that D20 a roll and see if maybe you can crit out of that stomach of the beast. Till next time, my name is not Dirk.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm not Durtle.
And this is not our video show,
Not yet.
but a podcast. We'll see you next time.